Hello, creative people. This is Catherine with aMotleyArt, and I'm going to be stamping 3 cards using the In Full Bloom Scrapbooking stamp set. I really loved this stamp set, and that's going to be my main focus, is that stamp set. There's more in the description below about Close to My Heart and the stamp set. If you'd like more information, just check down there. So I'm starting off with one of the really big flowers. I was really drawn to the stamp set because of these really big flowers. I just think they're so pretty. They have a lot of detail to them. So I decided to use the Sapphire ink for this first one. I love the richness of the sapphire blue color. It's just really pretty. And so then I'm going to use Lagoon here to add some leaves to the side. So I really wanted to just do a design that was coming off the sides of the paper. It just gives you a really nice place to have a focal element, or your sentiment there in the white that you've left. And I like the idea of using the different colors for this line art and not filling it in. I just think that's really pretty, and it just gives it sort of a classic kind of look to it. So I just liked it that way, so that's the way I left it. So here just kind of showing you could flip it either way, do it portrait or landscaped. I'm going to leave it portrait. I tend to do most of my cards portrait, and so now I decided I wanted to add a few little butterflies that are in this stamp set. I love butterflies. I know it's kind of cliche to say that, but I don't care. I love butterflies. I have so many different butterfly stamps sets, and will I buy more? Yes, I absolutely will be buying more butterfly stamp sets. If it's a beautiful butterfly and it's one that I feel I need, I will buy it, because I just feel like you cannot have too many. And having said that, I am using the sentiment from the In Full Bloom card making workshop, which does have a butterfly on it as well. And it had a lot of really lovely sentiments. This one being "You're the best." So I really liked it. So even though I was trying to focus and I was really trying to just use one stamp set to do these cards, I ended up using 3 stamp sets because the In Full Bloom scrapbooking set has so many lovely stamps in it, but it only has one sentiment, and that sentiment's "Live life in full bloom," which is a fine sentiment. It could have fit there, it would have looked pretty there, but I just wanted something different. I wanted something a little bit more streamlined, and I really like that font. So kind of being more of like a old typewriter-y font, I really liked that. So that is what I added, and then as you saw, I just put it on a background. So now I'm going to my second card, and I'm using a different flower in the same set, which is just so beautiful. It has so much detail to it. I just think that came out so pretty. And now I'm going to add some leaves to this as well. So I'm using the Mulberry and the Glacier together. Those are the 2 colors for the flower that I'm using. And I decided that I did want the leaves to be a little bit fuller. So I took some of the Glacier ink and just put it on my little block there. And now I'm going to paint it on. So I'm going to paint it in, and I was very loose with this painting. I did not try to make it perfect. I wanted to leave white areas. That's what really gives you that like watercolor look. If you're really looking for that watercolor look, try not to be too precious. Just slap it on there. I didn't even pay it, if some of them were darker than others, I was okay with that. Because when you're done, when everything has dried, it's going to give you that nice watercolory look, and it's going to look a little bit, it's going to give you some depth, because you're going to have some darker areas, you're going to have some lighter areas, you're going to have some areas that have maybe nothing on it, right? It's going to have the paper, so you have your highlight all done for you. If you just kind of of course, I have this sped up, but if you move quickly and you don't think too hard about it and you just add some color, it will do the work for you. And then for that border, I did bring in a third stamp set. That was the Sweet as Honey Cardmaking stamp set. It has this cute little border stamp that I just think is so lovely, so delicate. I love it. And so I added it on there, but I went a little wonky, as you could see, which I just kept doing on purpose. Once it went wonky the first time, I just kept doing that, and it looks a little bit more like, like a chain was laid down on top of it. So I like it. I think it came out interesting. Would I try to make it straighter the next time? Yes, of course. Absolutely. But I think it looks really pretty, and I put it on kind of a craft background. I thought that looked really nice. So for the third and final stamp, I decided I was going to use black as my outline. So this one is going to be a little bit more stark than the other two by using the black. Now, I will admit, I used the wrong black. I used the dye-based black, and I should have used my archival black, which is a pigment, because I'm going to do some more watercoloring on top of these flowers. And this black, because it was the dye-based, it can move with the water, just like all the other inks that I've been using. But in the end, I was okay with it. It didn't move a whole lot, and I was fine with it. But in the future, I would really try to remember to use the other black next time. A pigment black is not going to move when you use watercolor. So now I'm going to use Papaya color, but I had a whole bunch of color kind of in the top of the ink pad there, and so I'm just going to use my water brush. I'm going to add a little bit of water, and I'm going to color these in. And again, I'm not going to be real careful with this. I wanted to have some darker places, some lighter places, so I just, went fairly quickly and did all of the flowers from the middle out, but then I left the tips white, and I just think it looked so pretty. But I had some extra white spaces, so I added some more of those little butterflies in the papaya, and I also used this other little stamp that is part of that Sweet as Honey to just kind of give a few little dots, just give a little bit more variation and some depth. And I love to watch Artful Stampin' with Ruth. If you haven't checked her out here on YouTube, you really should. She does amazing stamping, and she's so inspiring, and she's always putting kind of little dottage everywhere. And so that's what I wanted to do, is add a little extra dottage just to give it, like I said, some more interest into the composition. And I think it came out beautiful. And so then I wanted to add this sentiment. And one of the things I like to do is use the background color that I'm putting these on. I often like to use that, a sliver of that, to put my sentiment. I just think it looks really nice. It kind of gives it a graphic element, kind of breaks it up a little bit, and brings your eye to the sentiment. So here are the 3 cards that I created. If you like them, please like the button by hitting it. And if you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you would. I'd really like to get to 50 people, and then I could maybe do some live stamping or crafting. I think that would be a lot of fun. If you have any comments, please put them down below. And I hope you have a very creative day.